It is 1982, and a new monophonic synthesizer hits the market, making sound design accessible to the masses in a quick-to-use, small-format synthesizer. In the early 90s, its sequences and arpeggiated patterns rise to become entirely new genres of their own, and its sound still influences our popular music today. We have a separate video that describes the sequencer and arpeggiator in detail, but for now, let's focus on sound design and start by listening to a sequence while adjusting some parameters. We can add portamento and time the glide amount to our tempo. We can turn up our drive to emulate the practice of running the synth into overdrive pedals. And in order to get this mono synth to fit into modern production, you have the option of doubling the notes. Or push the setting past 5 for a wide stereo spread. Let's look at the default patch. We'll open up the filter frequency, turn down the resonance, as well as the filter modulation sliders. We will set our VCA to gate, so the note starts and ends with a key press. Listen to the sawtooth wave. We can set our range, which adjusts the pitch of the oscillator between different octaves. Now listen to the pulse wave. When the selector is set to manual, the pulse width slider will take your pulse from a square to an asymmetrical pulse. We can also have the LFO modify the width of the pulse. The modulator slider determines the speed, and the pulse width slider determines the amount. Or use the envelope to shape the movement of the pulse. A modulator on the left allows us to set a vibrato with a triangle wave. The mod slider determines the amount of modulation. A trill can be achieved with a square wave, and you can even sync the modulator section to the tempo of your DAW. Let's adjust our mod slider to get it to play in octaves. A sub-oscillator will produce a square wave down an octave. Or set it down 2 octaves. Or a pulse wave down 2 octaves. For an R2D2 style effect, set the modulator to random. The noise will modulate your oscillator in a way that dirties up the sound. Let's add noise in the mixer and then use it to explore our low-pass filter. Lowering the filter frequency will remove highs. Adding resonance will make the filter sing even more. Turn down your mixer sources completely. When the resonance is pushed beyond a setting of 8, it starts to self-oscillate. You can even play the filter when you bring the keyboard tracking slider all the way up. The octave under the pitch section will affect the keyboard tracking since it transposes the on-screen keyboard and incoming MIDI notes. Let's add some sources back in. We can use the mod slider to have the modulator section affect the filter. Let's sync it to our DAW tempo. Now let's modulate the filter with the envelope. Flip the switch up on the VCA, and the envelope will also affect the amplifier. Those of you using Modular will love the 5 additional modules available to make your own custom patches. And a side panel allows you to dive deeper into some advanced settings to customize this synthesizer. Download Softube's Model 82 Sequencing Mono Synth today and find out why this industry legend became the inspiration for decades of hit songs and styles.